Welcome back to Sporting with Smitty, everybody. I'm your host, Smitty. Now, it's been a crazy few months for me. Haven't been on here in a while. A lot of things have changed with the New England Patriots. I'm happy to say that I finally graduated school. Finally. Um, just unbelievable. Just unbelievable. I didn't think I could ever do something like this, but I did it. So, also, coming back to find out that I'm also moving from West Coast to East Coast. So, whole situation in my household. But I'm able to sit down at least to watch some of these games. And happy to say, Patriots win 19-3 in a defensive masterclass over the Chicago Bears. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, but the Bears' offense has been horrible these last few weeks. They haven't scored a touchdown in, I think, 14 quarters. That doesn't really matter. To me, anyway. I mean, you still got to show up and you still got to play. Tyler Huntley and the Miami Dolphins, who were down and out, probably they had not led in a game all season up to that point. They had one win, but the thing was that one win came from a final no time on the clock field goal from Sanders. So they had not led the entire season at any point until they came into Foxborough, and then they ran all over us. And Tyler Huntley led one. That was probably one of the most incompetent offenses I've ever seen as a fan. I don't know how anybody else saw that offense and thought, Jesus, they are horrible. But we managed to beat them out on that. But at that time, so you still have to play. You still have to play, and boy, did they play. I mean, let's get right into it. The offense. Let's start with Drake Maye. Drake Maye, probably a little bit more shaky at times. I mean, that interception from Tremaine Edmonds, woof. I mean, he missed him. He was lurking. He was following the quarterback's eyes. He was able to make a play, and it was frustrating, obviously, but he was able to come back because that was on the second or third drive of the game for him. So at that point, the Patriots had a punt, I think 2 punts, and then that pick. So, I mean, if we're talking last year, that sinks Mac Jones for the rest of the day. Period. That sinks him. That sinks any of the couple of quarterbacks that we've had over the last few years. That sinks them right back in, and we are cooked offensively for the rest of the game. The only way we're scoring is if we get a pick six. So, but Drake Maye, he has this confidence about him. He has this humbleness about him to where he's able to get these guys together and really be able to be a leader amongst men. And that's what you need in a situation like this with a young quarterback, with a team that's in a rebuilding era. You need a leader on offense. Unfortunately, Mac Jones wasn't that guy at the time. Neither was Bailey Zappi. But we have it right now in Drake Maye. I'm happy to say that I was wrong about him. I initially wanted Jaden Daniels. I wanted Jaden Daniels. I wish we had Jaden Daniels, but that's just not how the cards were played. But you know what? I'm more than happy to take Drake Maye and his outstanding play under pressure behind a makeshift offensive line, even though it seems like they've finally been able to tinker. They've tinkered around with it enough to where they've been finally able to figure out the grouping. Also, Ben Brown, I said it before and I'll say it again. I know I didn't say it on here. Probably one of the most underrated signings we've had. Coming off of a Raiders practice squad, and really, I mean, he had one negative play, I'd say, or one negative from him that I've seen since he's been a Patriot was the bad snap in the game against Chicago. Other than that, excuse me, he's been great. So Drake Maye, 15-25, 184 yards, 1 touchdown, and of course that 1 pick that bugs me. But the key stat to it all: 1 sack. 1 sack. That's it. One sack given up. Couldn't be happier with that, because looking at this team, you're thinking, good Lord, how is any quarterback going to survive behind this offensive line? And obviously you had the game last week where he was really just heavily pressured from Tennessee in that second half after Tennessee made adjustments. So, I mean, Tennessee, they had 4 sacks on Drake. And then before that, you had the Jets, and they had a couple sacks on him as well. So the offensive line is really starting to figure it out. And I know people are going to say, oh, but we want the number 1 pick. We want this. We want that. Yeah, you know what? That number 1 pick might be nice. I would love to have Travis Hunter in a Patriot jersey, but I don't think it's going to happen. Simply because looking down the line of how the schedule is, and also just the slow improvements of the Patriot offense week to week. And not just the Patriot offense, but the Patriot team as a whole. Even though there are times where this offense does irritate the hell out of me. But, hey, key stat of the day, 1 sack given up by the Patriots offensive line. Outstanding. Outstanding. The rushing attack was a little bit better today. I know that's crazy coming from me because, 144 yards is no joke. But, I mean, it was a lot better today, actually. It was so much better because finally you were able to see Ramondre. You could see he's evolved. He's not just ground and pound. He's a patient runner now. And now he's finally getting, like I said, with the offensive line, finally developing and really figuring it out. He's finally starting to see these holes open up, and he's starting to bust through those holes. So you're starting to see over time, like I said, we're getting better, and that's the key thing here. So Ramondre, 20 carries, 74 yards, 2 big third down conversions on that one drive, on the 1 touchdown drive we had. Excuse me, where he was able to patiently wait until he was able to kick it to the outside, and he was able to get that first down. So huge play at that very moment of the game, because you're thinking of, okay, it's either going to be 10-3 or 6-3 at that moment. So I mean, still couldn't be happier with that. And maybe even not 6-3 though. That's the thing. The wind was starting to really act up. So at that time, they were really at the line where, are you sure you want to kick it or do you want to go for it? So anything could have happened at that point. Antonio Gibson, he was the closer. That last drive in the 4th quarter, where after they finally stopped him on 4th down, he came in, had a couple of big runs, including a 10-yard run that really kind of sealed the deal. So Drake Maye, I could see what Coach Mayo was trying to say when he's got to protect himself better. But the one run that really got me nervous was the 19-yard run, and everybody knows what I'm going to say, where he dove, and I'm just thinking, okay, be careful. But, I mean, I don't know, maybe that's a subconscious thing for him, or in his mind he's thinking, okay, the last time I slid down, I got a concussion. So maybe, I don't know, maybe he just has that mindset, I don't know. But still, he ran the ball well. I mean, he's probably the best rushing quarterback I've seen in a Patriots jersey. I mean, maybe, outside of Cam Newton, homegrown Patriot quarterbacking, I've never seen a rushing Patriot quarterback like this. Steve Grogan was before my time. Hell, Jim Plunkett was way before my time. All those guys were before my time. So to see kind of a dual-threat Patriot quarterback like this, because at that point Cam was really not really dual-threat anymore. His arm was just really just not at the level it was. So still, Drake Maye is really, he has wheels. I didn't expect him to have wheels like this, but he's able to really move around the pocket and really become a dangerous threat to the defense. And who knows where that could lead us. Jermichael Hasty, really, he's like a sneaky runner. He'll come in and he'll really, it's hard to explain really his like to make a comparison to a runner in the last 20 years that I can think of, where he's just that sneaky runner that can come in and kind of get that little 5-6 yard bump that you need to really make it a doable third down, if that makes sense, or maybe a possible conversion. So, hey, still happy with his performance. He had about 6 carries, 20 yards. So, not bad. Definitely the best the rushing attack has been in a while, because for a good minute there, granted, being down in a lot of these games, the turning away from the rushing attack, I can understand. But finally be able to get that rushing attack going again, really nice to see. The receiving core, I mean, we can tell who his safety blankets are. Drake loves throwing to Douglas, as anybody would. He's just a athletic freak. And then Keyshawn Boutte. 4 catches, 47 yards. Really not many drops today, but still, they were able to get open down the field, and they were able to make some good plays. Booty, at the end of the half, getting that one catch over the middle for about 25 yards. Huge play. Great throw from Drake, but him able to get down, get the ball to the ref. I mean, we've seen it in the past where some receivers celebrate like jackasses, pardon my French, and the clock runs out on them or they get screwed. So him to be able to get that catch, run to the refs, here you go, clock it, boom, everybody get lined up, no issues there. And to get a penalty on top of that because Montez Sweat decided to take his sweet time getting back to the line of scrimmage. So Patriots win that one right there. Austin Hooper, by far his best game as a Patriot, 3 catches, 64 yards. His biggest catch of the day was early in the game on the first drive where, I think it was the first drive. It was either that or the second drive. It was definitely the second drive. Yep, that led to the field goal. Nice throw from Drake, but also to come down with that, with a defender draped all over you. By far, best play as a Patriot so far. Huge 28-yard gain. Really on the first play of the drive, too. So, him able to really get that drive going, leading with that, was a great start for this team on that drive that led to a field goal. So, great game from him after, because I think that Houston game, it was just miserable. He really struggled. That fumble really killed the offense at that juncture. But Hunter Henry only 1 catch. Key stat for me though, key moment of the game, Jalen Polk. He has been getting killed in the media. He came in loud, boisterous, confident, which is nothing wrong with that. But if you're going to do that, you got to really show out. You really got to be ready. And unfortunately, he just hasn't been able to do that. He had the 1 touchdown in the back of the end zone against Seattle, but since then, he's really been quiet, really just struggled to hold on to the football. I mean, you remember the 2-point conversion attempt in London against Jacksonville where he slipped on his route. So, and then he had another couple drops in that game as well. He's had a couple drops in other games. So he's really been able to, he's not had a good time so far. And the Patriot crowd and the Patriot media has really let him know it. I know I've been frustrated too. But for him to get a catch, get that touchdown on the goal line, and it was a nice catch too. I mean, catches he has dropped in the past, unfortunately, but him able to hold on to the football, get a touchdown, that's got to do wonders for a guy's confidence, especially at this level. So, once again, the offensive line, no issues at all. No issues. Just outstanding. There are times where the offense has stalled, but you know what? They took care of the football. Outside of that interception, they took care of the football. There was a bad snap, but Drake Maye was able to jump on it. So, I will say this. The interception kind of lowers it for me, but I have to give him a B+ for the offense on the day. That's just how it is. Now, the defense, I'm going to say right away, A+, A+++++++++. This was the best defense. This was a defensive masterclass. I've never seen, I'm not going to say that. I haven't seen a defensive masterclass like this probably in 3 years. Because last year was a mess. The year before that, we're all focused on how just terrible Matt Patricia is as an offensive coordinator. But, I mean, thinking about it, 2021 was the last time we really had a defensive masterclass like this since December or late November against Buffalo in the win where Mac only had 3 passes, but we were able to halt that entire offense for Buffalo for the entire game. Yeah, we gave up, I think, 10 points, or 10 or 11 points in that game, if I'm not mistaken. But we were able to get out there and we were able to really just shut things down. It was that game, and then I think a game on Thursday Night Football against Atlanta where we shut out Matt Ryan and the Falcons. Got, I think, 2 pick sixes in that game. Just ridiculousness, or at least 1 pick six, where we picked off, I think, 3 quarterbacks that they had step on the field. So it was a defensive masterclass today. You've got to feel for Caleb Williams. This was definitely not all on him. He missed a couple of throws to the sidelines where they were obviously easy first down throws to the flat. And he just missed and whiffed on him horribly. So you got to feel for him because this is not all on him. That offense was terrible. That offensive line, that makeshift. As a Patriot fan, we have seen makeshift offensive lines this year and the last few years. That was a makeshift offensive line from hell. And our defense was able to exploit it. They were able to break through it. They were able to bring down the quarterback. They were able to shut down the run game completely. To be able to, and I think Daryl Johnston talked about this in the broadcast, where really the Patriots over the last few weeks of the season, we weren't able to set the edge and really kind of prohibit those running backs from breaking and cutting it to the outside and getting those big plays, which is a huge part of DeAndre Swift's game. But we were able to shut down their rushing attack. 20 carries, 73 yards for them, 3.7 yards a carry. Just shut things down. We completely took out that part of their game, which is huge for a young quarterback, which we have seen. Another big stat of the game was, again, Christian Gonzalez. He is a legitimate shutdown corner. And the fact that in Bill's last draft, he was able to get a home run first round pick like this at, I think, about 15 or 16, don't quote me on that. Unreal. The fact that we were able to get this kid right now, he has top 10, maybe even top 5 talent depending on the draft class. He has shown out. He should have won Defensive Rookie of the Year last year. Unfortunately gets hurt in Dallas, kills the defense even more. But to be able to really, his ability to be a shutdown corner is, bar none, probably the best I've seen in a while. So, but let me tell you, this defense, they were animals on the line of scrimmage. 9 sacks on the day. 9 sacks on the day. I can't remember the last time a Patriot defense had 9 sacks. Off the top of my head, I can't think about it. I have. In the comment below, please let me know the last time the Patriots had 9 sacks, or at least 6 to 7 sacks in a game. Excuse me. Anthony Jennings, Jelani Tavai, Jeremiah Farms, Keon White, who's becoming one of my favorite players on this defense. The dude is just a mental. He's a monster. He's a monster. He's got that look in his eye that he's ready to. Whoever's in front of him, he's ready to destroy, and that's the type of player that this young defense needs. And then you have Dietrich Wise having a couple sacks, Del Pettis having a sack, really that took away any chance. I think it was 13-3 16-3 in the fourth quarter. At that point, it was a key drive for Chicago, and we pinned them down deep, right at their goal line too, right on their goal line on that Pettis sack. And then Brandon Schooler coming in and getting a sack. I mean, holy crap! It was really just excellent football all around, and 13 tackles for a loss. Key for the defense to be able to really prohibit any Chicago offensive anything. And then obviously 13 pass deflections. Just getting in there, knocking the ball down. Couldn't be happier with this defensive performance. Also, you got to give it to Jelani Tavai. Congrats to him and his family. New baby to the family. I mean, as a father myself, you got to congratulate. Welcome to the Dad Club, man. I think that's his first child. Don't quote me on that. But, hey, welcome to the Dad Club. It's the best club you'll ever be in. Best team you'll ever be on. I couldn't be happier with this performance. This defense, it's like, lately, you can see maybe that every fan, you're thinking to yourself, oh God, is something going to happen to where this team, we just fumble it away, or something's going to happen defensively where we give up that big play. We're just like, oh man, that's a killer right there. And honestly, you didn't see it. You were confident all the way through that, okay, it doesn't matter. We're good. We're good defensively. We don't have to worry about that. Drake Maye can take his time. We can give up. We can have those couple punt those drives, those 3-and-out drives, as frustrating as they can be. It's okay. Our defense, they got it locked down. It's done, and that's what we saw. I mean, just to be able to bring consistent pressure to the quarterback, make Caleb Williams' life hell in the pocket. I mean, and he took some knocks. He really took a couple of knocks in this game. So, big shout out to the defense. They were outstanding. Also, Drake Maye mic'd up for this game. I don't know if anybody saw it, but him just consistently talking up the defense. Just been like, hey, come on, guys, let's get you guys got it. Hey, nice job, D. Nice job, D. Like, dabbing everybody up. Like, that's what you need as for a young team like this who's rebuilding. You need a leader like that. That's gonna bring that positivity to the team. And I don't think we had that under Mac Jones. We have it under Drake Maye. We have it under Drake Maye, and it makes you hopeful. It makes you very hopeful for the future. So defense A plus 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 plus. It doesn't matter. They were 100%, 100%. If this was a test, I'm giving them extra credit too. So. The special teams is more of a love-hate relationship right now. If Marcus Jones didn't exist for the special teams, they would be, and Joey Sly wasn't kicking his ass off. Again, pardon my French, he wasn't kicking his ass off. This special teams would be very, very disappointing. But Marcus Jones has been so key these last few weeks to been able to get the ball. I mean, this is the third straight game in a row where he's been able to get the ball in a spot where we have a short field. That last drive, right before the half, he was able to get the ball kind of right there on the precipice of getting us in a position where we could put some points on the board. Last week, it was another drive where we were able to tie the game thanks to Marcus Jones' return. Then it was against the Jets, where he was able to return it all the way into Jets territory, where in the second half, where we were finally able to get the scoring going in the second half. So, Marcus Jones has been so key to the Patriots these last 3 weeks. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He is becoming a threat, and you're seeing teams adjust to that now. They cannot punt. If you punt the ball, a line drive punt to Marcus Jones, you have made a mistake. I'm not saying he's going to bring it back, but if you give him that opportunity, he's going to get it. It's guaranteed 20 to 30 yard return, period. So that's another threat that we finally have again, because he missed all of last season. I think he was injured against Miami, and we never saw him again last year. Joey Sly. I mean, I know Chad Ryland is killing it down in Arizona. Good on him. But after last year with Ryland, woof, I was really just dreading this year with the kicking game. Because, I mean, Chad Ryland cost us at least 4 games. Granted, that gave us Drake Maye, but still. But 4 for 4, Joey Sly is becoming a reliable kicker. And getting kicks before the half, getting points on the board for the half, getting the kicking game going. Just, I mean, it's not like last year where you felt like it's almost like you had to score a touchdown, which was very, very far few in between with that team last year. But Joey Sly, probably for me, the best kicker we've had since Folk. So again, if it wasn't for those two guys, I would say D, because again, the punt coverage is. After the Patriots went 3-and-out on the first drive of the game, they immediately go right down the field on a 38-yard return. So you're thinking to yourself, oh gosh, here we go. Thankfully, the defense did what they do best. But so something they need to work on, but I'd have to give them at least a B minus on that one. So B plus for the offense. A plus 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 times 1,000 for the defense, and then a B minus for special teams, all in part thanks to Joey Sly and Marcus Jones. Now, who is up next? Now that's because Patriots right now are 3-7. They have one of the record-wise, they have one of the easiest schedules to finish off the season, which is crazy to think of because I mean they still haven't played Buffalo yet, and they have the Chargers. Shortly before New Year's, so that's something I need to look at. So there's very, very winnable games coming up. You have the Rams next week, who are 4-5. They really looked bad against Miami. I don't know what happened to them, but they really, really looked bad against Miami on Monday Night Football this past week. So something that they definitely got. And unfortunately, Patriots being at home, the Rams are favored. Veteran quarterback, something like it's going to be a tough game. You have a veteran quarterback. You've got a young defensive coordinator who's still trying to get everything going. Got everything going against Chicago, but Matthew Stafford is a whole nother animal. You don't know what they're. You have receivers. This is the game where Christian Gonzalez needs to go all out because you have to deal with Cooper Kupp. You have to deal with Puka. Sorry if I pronounced his name wrong, but you've got it. They've got a tall task ahead of them, and if they win this game, if they're able to pull this one out, you're looking at a really good possible run here. Because after that, it's Miami. Then you have the Colts at home, who are suffering from their whole quarterback problems right now. And then after that, you finish the season off against 3 playoff teams, being the Cardinals, or potential playoff teams, the Cardinals, the Bills, and then the Chargers. So, huge couple games coming up. I mean, if you say they beat the Rams and the Dolphins, cool. You're looking at and the Colts. So they go on a 3-game winning streak. You're looking at 6-7 entering the final weeks of the regular season with a young quarterback like Drake Maye, with a team that Vegas expected to lose every game. People don't realize that. Before Drake was drafted, and even after Drake was drafted, nobody expected this team to win 2 games, especially after the first few games after the preseason with how bad the offensive line looked. Nobody expected this team to win anything. So if this team is able to sneak out and eke out 5, 6, maybe 7 wins to finish for this year, yeah, it's going to suck in the draft, but I have full trust and capability that we're able to get the right offensive lineman or the right skill player to prepare us for the next few years. And then you have free agency with all the money. So I couldn't be more hopeful for the future right now. This Patriot team is giving me a very, 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 very high hopes. But let me know what you guys think below. I mean, do you think this Patriot team has the ability to win 3 games for the rest of the season? Do you think this team has the ability to shock maybe Buffalo down the stretch, maybe hurt their seeding against the Kansas City Chiefs or the Baltimore Ravens? Let me know. Do you think the Patriots can pull off some upsets for the rest of the season? Let me know in the comments below. I'm happy to be back. I cannot wait to talk more Patriot football. I can't wait to talk more Celtics basketball, even though they lost last night, and it irritates the hell out of me against Atlanta. But that's a whole other thing together. So, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I appreciate you guys for watching. Go Patriots. Let's go.